Hey, Dons fans, I am with tennis great Bernardo Saraiva, 2015 tennis alum from Portugal. I mean, Bernardo, your accolades are ridiculous. I mean, you had them from the year you came in as a freshman all the way up to senior year, but your 2014-15 senior year, awarded by the ITA, the Arthur Ashe Sportsmanship Award. You were ITA Senior Player of the Year. You were the only Don to ever be honored twice for all WCC first team singles and doubles with your partner, Nils. At the number one position, you compiled a 24-5 record and a 6-1 mark in the WCC play. I mean, that's ridiculous. You went 22-9 overall with Nils and 5-3 in WCC competition as USF's top doubles team. Then you switched to pro. You had a career-high ATP singles ranking of 694 achieved in 2017, and then a career-high doubles ranking of 243 in 2018. You also won the ATP Challenger doubles title in the 2019 Columbus Challenger. So you're pretty good. But Bernardo, just take me back to USF and just let's talk about that chemistry you had with Nils in doubles.
Yeah, for sure. Katie, thank you so much for inviting me here. It's an honor and so nice to see you again. It's amazing. It's amazing. Thank you. Yeah. Back to the USF times. I mean, I always like to go back to those times because they're really special moments for me, you know, and I know for all my teammates as well. With Nils was one of them, you know, because we've played together basically our whole college career. You know, usually there's a lot of teams that change their doubles teams and so on, but we always, since the very moment we played together, we connected. I think we were good because we were different, you know. Our style of play was a little bit different, and we kind of complemented each other, you know. Yeah. If there were two me, I wouldn't do as well as me and Nils, you know. And I think also if there were two Nils, they wouldn't be as good as me and Nils, you know. So I think, you know, in doubles it's it's like a complex game, you know, and you need to have sort of different qualities to complement each other. Those usually are the better teams, and with us that was the case. You know, he did certain things better, I did other things better, so that was kind of why we had so much success as well.
Well, and then talk about that moment that you guys got to go to Flushing, Queens, and you end up in Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Yeah, that was really nice. That was really nice because we got to go there because we won the regionals at Stanford. And I think it was the first time somebody from USF did it, and a bunch of good doubles players in the world won that championship. So that was really exciting. And it was very hard to win. We were basically losing all throughout like the final games, and then we ended up winning. So that was cool. And we got to go to the national championships in New York, where we played at the U.S. Open venue. You know, we got to hit in the biggest stadium in the world. We went to Pablo and Peter. It was, I mean, everybody was just happy to be there. You know, and especially because it was the first time, and it was good to compete there with the best guys for sure.
Yeah, and you know, I was there for your senior day. You know, always can be an emotional thing, especially for you because you loved being a Don. Just talk about how special that was, and you know the relationship. I know, and the relationships you made with your teammates, Peter, Pablo, Sean.
Yeah. I think it was one of those things where everything just connected well for me. You know, since the first year, the teammates was always a very solid group. You know, from the beginning. It's also interesting because we were all from different places of the world, you know, and we all share this common thing that is tennis, you know, and it all brought us together, even though we were from different places and culture and so on. We had this one big thing in common, that is everybody was playing tennis since they're 6 years old, you know. So that's very special. And when you share those moments away from home with all those people, you get definitely very connected. We still keep in touch with Pablo and Peter. The coaches were also very good. I think they actually complemented themselves well as well, you know. So that was amazing. It was. I only have good things to say about them, and I actually improved a lot with all the coaches at USF. I mean, from freshman year to senior year, my level like skyrocketed, kind of, you know. I came in like a little bit small kid, you know, and I left like, okay, I can do this, you know. So that was, yeah, definitely big. Very very happy for all that. I'm grateful for all the help they give me.
Well, and I think it was always your dream to play pro, but you just kind of said it, you skyrocketed an improvement by your senior year. So when you did get the chance to go pro, just talk about being in Mexico and getting that first point.
Yeah, that was amazing. Obviously, yeah, my goal always was to go pro since a little kid and play all over the world, ATP tournament and so on. You know, so that was always the goal. And even when I was in college, that was my goal, to improve, to be able to play professional. I was very fortunate also as well to meet the right people at the right time, you know, and I had some sponsors that helped me a lot. So and that was really cool. I remember it was my, not the first, maybe second trip to Mexico. Yeah, that's where I got my first point, and I was officially in the professional rankings, you know. And that was, I remember the match. I was very nervous, you know, serving out the match. I was like, oh, this is it, you know, this is where it starts. But eventually it happened, and I was super stoked, just super stoked. I remember very clearly. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, talk about winning that first challenger and you all of a sudden have this huge fan base. You've got little kids asking for your autograph.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that came to win the challenger. That came a few years after the first point, but it was very, it was powerful because the challenge is already basically is already a very high level. I mean, we in that challenge we defeated some players that were top 100 in the world, and yeah. I felt proud, you know, to win that to win that, and that was probably my biggest achievement, I would say, in terms of level of tennis played and presented. That was probably the best I've done. So it's something I will remember for sure, for forever. Yeah, that was very nice.
It was pretty awesome. You know, I don't think people understand how hard it is to get in the top 100 of rankings for men in singles and in doubles. And, you know, so again, the fact in doubles that you broke into the top 300 is pretty impressive. And you won several matches in the doubles bracket. But what's really interesting to me is every time I'd see you post an Instagram picture of a win, you're with a different partner. And I'm like, how does that even happen? So kind of tell me about why you had so many doubles partners.
So basically, you know, when you go from college was a very like, although tennis is still individual sport, college was, you were always with a team, and in that sense, it's very different than the pro tour. You know, the pro tour is much more individualistic. You just basically on your own kind of thing, you know. And that the transition was hard on that sense for me because I was used to having always my teammates around and so on. But then anyway, I started to get used to it. And the thing is, people have different schedules in the Pro Tour. You know, you have a bunch of tournaments every week where you can pick different circuits in the world. The tournaments have different levels depending on the rankings, and you're always trying to play higher level tournaments, and for that you need somebody with a higher ranking and so on. So there's a lot of changes, and sometimes you will play with a different partner because you know you can get into a better tournament and so on. So it's a little bit more individualistic on that sense. Obviously, the partners I did do well, we tend to stick together more often than not, you know. And the ones that didn't work out as well, maybe we never play again. but yeah, it depends a lot on the schedule, what you're trying to play, the tournaments you're trying to play, and just kind of like try to find the best fit for a set of tournaments.
So in September 2019, I read this post that you're saying goodbye to your tennis career. how hard was it to come to that decision?
It was pretty tough. I will confess. I will confess it was pretty tough. I think it was even tougher like the following months, the following few months, to be honest, than to actually make the decision. But it was tough. But I knew it was a decision for the best because I played for 4 years after college on the professional tour, and I kind of seen it all. I did my best. I left it all out there, and on that sense, there's no regrets. But it's just as you're mentioning to have a lot of people don't know because they think, oh, tennis players, professional tennis players, they all have these amazing lives and so on. But yeah, it's true if you are like in the very 1% of the sport, like those top 50, top 70, and so on. Yeah, sure. Then you get all that glamorous lifestyle and so on. But if that's a very, very small percentage, and I was running into a case that I was a little bit tired of the lifestyle because it was amazing, great experience, but it's not something you want to do for the rest of your life if you're not with the conditions to do it. So I wanted to be close to family, obviously, to my girlfriend and my friends, and I think it was just I needed something different. I wanted a different challenge, so yeah, I ended up taking that decision, and yeah, it's been I don't regret it. So that's the most important. I still miss it sometimes, the competition aspect of it, but I still play. I still play sometimes.
And then last thing, so I heard that the making of To Be a Don made you a celebrity. So how vital was that video to your status on campus?
That was pretty nice. That was your fault, Katie. No, it was actually amazing. The video was that's one of my highlights for sure. I have it all over. I mean, Katie, you are awesome on what you do. So the videos were just amazing, and obviously it had a lot of impact, and a lot of people were watching and so on, and that was great. Even to send to people here in Portugal for them to see was pretty amazing. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. All the comments and so on. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Bernardo, it is so great catching up with you, and I have thoroughly enjoyed following your career on social, and just so excited for the future for you. Thanks a lot for being here.
Yeah, no, thank you, Katie, for the invite. That was really amazing and great to talk to you, and go Dons.
Nice. Awesome. I love it.